there we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Contest of Speed. It's EU3. There's no Shane this evening, and there's no Marina Rat. What an absolute devastation. So once again, you have to listen to my dulcet tones, but I have brought along a very special guest. I have Blades alongside me, which is unheard of, but hello.
Back at it again.
Back at it again. Yes. So we're around Zandvoort, and you obviously missed last night, so you missed the carnage that went on in EU4.
Can't say I'm disappointed that I missed last night, to be honest. And Spud has crashed on an inlet.
That is very disappointing considering he did a 12 flat, but that's fine.
Oh, and Titcher spun it on an inlet.
Lovely.
And straight back across the track. So, to put it simply, very on brand for Spud there.
He's very on brand for many people. There was many spins last night, qualifying in particular when it was overcast. Very difficult to get the tyres up to temperature, just like we saw at the weekend, Blades. We obviously raced around here on Sunday. Did you watch?
I did watch. It was a very rare occasion that I'm actually awake for a race. But, very enjoyable for the Orange Army.
It was. The conspiracy theories are out in force. You love to see it.
Tinfoil hats are on.
Yep. You love to see it. We were supposed to have 20. Wizard, we've lost because of power outage, which is a bit annoying. And Nos Racing was supposed to be in for Pipe Tech, and he's not here, which is slightly annoying because Sneaky Tomlin could have raced instead, who was being replaced by David Clausen. Lots of housekeeping, Blades. Shall we just get through it quickly so we don't bore the people?
60-second rundown.
Oh, 60-second rundown is okay. So this evening we have got usual suspects of Dan Cornish, other Dan, not Rapid, Cygate 2 Spud, both the BMB boys. Wizard should be here, Titchy and Racer. In the reserve listing, we have got... Here we go. We've got supposed to have Nos Racing in for Pipe Tech, David Class is in for Sneaky Tom, Red Mask is in for Max, Cam Tizzle's in for Wisey Boy, Steve is in for 30, Donny's in the empty seat in the McLaren because he's under the microscope this evening. Because he is probably going to get moved up into EU3. New lad, Acid Masters, he is in for Stumpy in the Alfa Romeo.
No, he's not. He's in the Alfa
Tauri. He should be in the Alfa Romeo, but the person who did the thing, not mentioning any names, Hilly, has put the Alfa Tauri badge next to Stumpy's name. Tebow's in for Reflux.
There we go. Obviously not scoring points in Drivers' Championship, so...
Yes, but the guys that have replaced their teams, mates, from the tier below, they get Constructors' points instead. So David Claassen gets Sneaky Tom's points, Steve gets 30 points, etc., etc. Wow.
JRN would like to know if he is allowed to join.
He's more than welcome.
2 men.
He's more than welcome to join. He can join instead of Nos Racing in the Aston Martin and can partner Not Rapid.
I've done a boo-boo.
Have you?
Yes.
What have you done?
You know what I've done. It's
Can
on allow. Let's go. I haven't done a boo-boo.
That's fine. We will move on and look at one of those people. David Claassen was on a lap. He's now run wide. Difficult race for those involved from EU4 last night. That's to put it lightly. Hopefully they can prove a point this evening and keep themselves out of trouble. That would be fantastic.
I think that's you. I've just invited JRN. If it's not, we're going to have trouble. But...
I can't do anything, Wizard, if that's the case.
It's ZJRN dash, isn't it?
yeah, I don't know if I can do anything about it. If JRN's joined, he'll join. If not, not to worry. Deathstorm, how was AM3? Smoother than last night, was it? Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. As I went to see how Titchy's getting on, and he's done a 720.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that on the stream. What a fantastic pirouette.
So I will
10
move
points.
I will move on from him and see who we are going for. I have, Blades, got the Drivers' Championship in front of me, just so we know what's going
Oh,
on.
fantastic. What's going on after 4 races? 3 races. This is the 4th round.
It is the 4th race, we are the 4th round, which is about a third through the season, which is really strange saying. Jordi is top of the driver on screen. Jordi is top of the championship by quite some distance. It's hard to not argue with him. A second and 2 wins.
Sorry to interrupt, Matt. There was a red car around in roughly the same place as Titchy did his pirouette, and that was Neil.
Ah.
The only wizard in the lobby tonight.
Well, the brothers have chemistry, apparently, and there you go. Great minds think alike, and all that jazz. Jordi comes across the line and does 11.5.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I have been talking to Wizard about strategy today. I'll leave it out.
Hold the phone. Hang on, there's someone more important that's just joined us. Lars!
Lars is in the stream, Wizard's in the session, and JRN's in the session. We've got our 20.
And Lars is here.
JRN, you're in the Aston. Let's get it going.
When's the return, Lars? This is what I want to hear. I've heard things on the streets.
You've heard a rumour.
I've heard a rumour on the streets that you could be returning. We saw this the other week, I think. Pretty sure.
Rumour has it, as Adele once said.
So, back where we were, Jordi has got a massive lead. He's got a 38-point lead over Footy. He's got 2 podiums for Footy, but again, not here, which doesn't help his cause. And then everyone else is in the 20s, really. It's a bit one-way traffic in EU4 at the moment, EU3 at the moment.
And that is a massive lead after just 3 rounds. 35 points.
Acid Masters is into 6th place, so a good start from the newbie.
Yeah, the B&B boys getting up there. Good for Jordi, obviously, leading the championship. You would imagine he'd want to be a little bit quicker than that.
Yeah, you would hope so. That's made me sad, Lars. But at least you're here and you're talking to us, which is great.
You never know. Maybe not Rapid actually is Rapid, and he's going to stay on pole.
It's Matt and Blades on comms. Chels, come on. This is a beautiful evening.
Not the usual duo, and not a duo I would expect to. Sorry,
we haven't got a Dane or a Belgian. I apologise.
Well, in fairness, he doesn't sound very Danish.
No, he sounds very English. Sygate does 11.8. Steffson's gone. Acid ran away with this last night, so okay, that's good information. AM3 was on late last night, 9 PM Eastern, 2 AM in the UK if you were up at that time. I know I wasn't.
I absolutely wasn't. Never been up at that time in my entire life.
So yeah.
I know Danny's gonna watch this back, so he can have a laugh at that as well.
He can. Anyone out there, Blades, that is looking menacing?
Well, Cam Tizzle's out there, and he looks like he's on a lap. And Two Spell's retired. Oh, and there's 2 cars down there where Two Spell's retired.
Yeah, and Lewis has got a 5-place grid penalty for hitting him, apparently.
I will try to ascertain what has gone on from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Yes, that would be fantastic if you could do that. Cam Tizzle isn't improving, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to find Joe.
No, but he gave us a good view of what had happened between Neil and
Yes.
Lewis, or at least the aftermath.
Your people are throwing allegations about your comment.
Yeah, you know, never been up at 2 a.m. mate.
You're not a night owl, are you?
Never commentated a race with Andy that never actually got streamed at 2 a.m.
Oh, Lars, I hope that's not the case. That would hurt me inside as a Williams driver this season.
It would hurt me also as a Williams driver. Very partisan commentary box, isn't it?
No bias whatsoever. I showed none last night when Shane got a podium in the EU4. So Jaren put a 112.1. We've seen different setups around this track. We've seen the bullet setup being used last night by J-Ray.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Fantastic.
And then we saw a high downforce setup being used by some of the people on that did the TT times this week. So it is compromise.
It certainly feels like high downforce could be the way to go, as Yordi goes P2. I don't know how long ago that was, but
it was quite a while ago, because he's definitely not on this lap, because it's been very, very scrappy. So let's go over to his teammate. In fact, no, this is the man I want to see. It's Tichy. Tichy's going to go for a lap.
He's been doing pirouettes on his previous laps. How will he fare against the wind and the sand of Zandvoort?
I'm going to get rid of the tyre graphic, because you don't need that. They're all on softs, obviously, because of the new regulation this year.
Well,
free choice.
He's managed to keep the car straight.
That's a good start, that is, compared to the AlphaTauri that's come off behind him. Oh, look at that, 14 seconds up on his time. Whoa, watch out.
There comes Tichy. Round to the banking. He's on that curb, which is very dangerous this year. Very dangerous.
Use the banking to good effect, and it's 11.9.
So he goes quicker than Spud, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure Spud will be amused.
Yeah, Robin's gone up to third. We saw last night times were quite. Well, it was quite disparity in times last night. It was it wasn't quite close, but he's a little bit closer in EU3 this evening. Pole time was set by Donny, who's 3 attempts currently off what he did last night.
Having not done this map,
yep,
I've only watched the streams. You'll have to explain to me how I tell between a VSC and a safety car.
A VSC, the track will still go yellow. The safety car, the track will go yellow, and there'll be a yellow dot that appears from the pit lane.
Okay. So I need to watch the track.
Yeah, pretty much.
Codemasters, fix your go.
It's not great from our
perspective.
Yes, but that's fine.
Cody's fix your go.
Cornish Mantis is about to finish his lap. One of the two AlphaTauris this evening, and it's not a quick one. So we'll move on. I want to preferably start with someone that is about to start a lap near the front.
Oh dear, the Haas has gone. That's Dan right in front of Dan.
We're going to go aboard with Red Mask, with Joe even, so Joe is going to start a lap here. We're going to head into Tarzan Corner.
Such a fantastic name for a corner, isn't it?
It is, Tarzan Corner. 2, 3 and 4. Nice little loop, not rapids improved. And it's just a long, it's a nice wiggly section through here, through 5, 6, 7.
Just red map. Oh, and Yordi will be done for the day.
Yes, and there's a McLaren
Who's
off as
round?
well. Donny's gone into the 10s, first man into the 10s.
And I hope you stayed on board with JRN because he just went absolutely
He
flying
through someone,
Yordi's
yes.
car.
Yes, he has. Sygate has entered the pits. We've got an AlphaTauri of Cornish Mantis who's going to head in the pits as well.
Well, what I can tell you is, Two-Spell told me that he was tempted to start last, and he's done the best he could to achieve that.
Yes. And Jaren does improve. Tichy is the next man across the line, and he doesn't improve. Anyone else? That is qualifying done then.
It seems to me, Matt, I don't know about you, everybody seems to be having a bit of trouble getting around here without ending up backwards at some point.
But the car is being pushed to the limit at this point. And that is why. Yes, Lars, I like that idea. Predictions, people. Can we get your predictions into the race? We'd love to see it. We'll take anything.
Please do.
Podium positions, how many finishers, safety cars is always a good one that we like to do.
So reports from both the Alpine and Ferrari garages. Lewis crashed round the blind right-hander.
Yep.
At turn X, because I don't know what number it is. 7, maybe. And it didn't ghost him, so when Neil went round the corner with the car fully loaded, he just smashed into the side of Racer.
Ethan, that's a great prediction right there. There will be a winner. I hope there is.
There will be one winner and 3 people on the podium by the end of it.
And football is that winner. So, I forgot I've got to do this bit. Donny on pole.
You do this bit.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Yes, you'll be back. Donny on pole, not rapid in second place. Less than a tenth separate between them. A little bit of a jump to the BMB boys that are occupying row 2, closely followed by Cam Tizzle, the American, getting in the mix. New Boy Acid Masters in there as well. Cornish 7th, Dan 8th, Jaren 9th, Steve 10th, Sygate 11th, Wizard 12th, Tichy, and Lewis with his penalty is in 14th, Spud 15th, Dan 16th, David 17th, Red Mask 18th, Two-Spell 19th, and Tebow is 20th and will start last. Thank you for everyone with their predictions so far. That's we've had quite a varied predictions, but there is certain names being mentioned among the podium places. Cam's been mentioned quite a bit. Acid as well. Obviously, the American community know a bit more about those guys as they raced last night. Not Rapid's been mentioned. Yordi in there, championship leader. Donny, who's expected to feature well in this tier. It'll be his race pace. That'll be very interesting to see how he goes this evening. Who else we got in there? Electric Blaze gone with Cam Tizzle, not Rapid Acid. A lot of support for Cam. That's good to see.
I have returned.
Roz has gone with the B&B boys to be on the podium as well as Cornish. No surprise there. Reflux has gone Mantis, Yordi, and Haaland. Yeah, why not? Haaland. 12 finish.
Be doing everything at the minute, so it wouldn't be a surprise.
12 finishes, says Roz. People will pick up penalties. I don't know, maybe round here. Not too sure. AJ's gone with 2 safety cars though. Thanks for everyone getting involved. There's some good predictions out there, Blades. Should be very interesting, this one.
I've been attacked by the biggest daddy long legs you've ever seen.
First world problems.
Absolutely.
Formation laps are on, by the way, people. Just so you know, they are back in business.
For the first time in this tier.
this season. EU4 were the guinea pigs last night, and that was good to see. What was also good to see, Blades, many colours.
Oh, many colours. And
many colours of tyres.
The cars.
Nope.
Well, they are on the cars, I suppose, but...
So, interestingly, Not Rapid's gone with the hard tyre, which, well, that's going to be interesting to see how he gets on with the early stages, whilst he's got softer runners around him, sacrificing, perhaps, start positions to then run long into the race. But yeah, actually, a fairly even mixture, I feel. What's that?
Fairly even mixture.
Oh,
six
and someone has gone off. Not Rapid has gone off already. We saw Donny do it last night under the formation lap.
So a return to formation lap on racing, proving difficult for some people.
Yeah, the other thing with formation that we saw last night from a broadcast perspective, if you don't get your car in the right position, Blaze, you'll see them disqualified at the bottom of your screen. That's what it means when it comes up. So you have great fun at mocking the several people that did it. There was about 6 last night in EU4.
I always get my parking right with about 4 flashbacks.
No, reflux. I don't think Ross is going to score points, especially tomorrow. I'm back, so.
So here we go then. The first grid lineup. Donny has parked it well. Everybody seems to be parking. Oh, never mind. Mantis and Saigate and Acid. How's Spud going to do?
As Tebow is the last one to join the grid.
Oh,
Lewis hasn't got it right, but that's fine.
Spud's parked it properly.
3, 4, 5 lights. This is an interesting camera angle. And away we go. This is EU3 at Zandvoort, and it's a good start from Donny, but Geordie with an electric start, and he's going to take the lead on the soft tyres. Gets past the McLaren early on. There's a little bit of contact further back. There's a Haas going slowly, which doesn't look particularly very good. Not Rapid down a couple of places already, as expected on the hard tyres as they warm up ahead of his teammate though. Geordie though.
Cornish Mantis off at turn 1. That was what
was on. Spud is also
yellow flag,
off as well, which is not a good start for Spud. And Acid masters the new on debut.
A virtual safety car.
It is going to be a virtual safety car. There's also AlphaTauri that's off as well further back. I believe that is going to be Cornish Mantis avoiding his teammate. So there's carnage further. David Clarkson. So we've got Spud's got no front wing. Can't remember who else.
Holy moly, Lewis is up so many places. That's about 8 places, I think.
Let's have a look at position change. Lewis is up 8 places indeed. Good start for the Alpine driver. Danny and Tichy also up some places. Joe also up a fair few places. So good start. The losers were really the AlphaTauris. Combined 26 loss off the start.
Yeah, you got 1 out and 1 possibly with damage. I'm not too sure. I will have a look what Tass is saying. Yeah, he's got damage to his front right wing, but it's not too much. A lot of people pitting with damage.
Yeah, and
Mantis staying out because you can drive with damage in this game.
You can, because why not? Spud has also picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which isn't going to help his... it's not going to help his situation. It does mean, though, now we go green. The guys that just pitted have gained about 8 seconds compared to a normal pit stop.
Interesting choice from Red Mask. He's gone to the soft. I wonder if that was what he wanted, or if he's been done in a bit by the game there.
I think there was 3
I'm sure we'll find out.
I think there's 3 safety cars last night, so You're kind of planning for one, really, if I'm being honest. I think that would change though from tier to tier.
It is a very dangerous track with very little overtaking opportunities, as the DRS should now be enabled.
Yeah, so I think the one difference you're going to see from last night till tonight is that because the field spread is a lot more tighter across this tier, overtaking around here is going to be a little bit trickier for people, as Lewis got past Steve. And that's really our first major split, really. We've got a top 9 and then everyone else as Jordi leads.
And he's building a gap to Donny, but Donny on those medium tyres, the Williams, splitting the strategy.
Donny will go longer.
Could come back to bite Jordi, maybe.
Maybe. Donny will go longer, and Donny's got something to prove this evening. It's not his pace, we know how quick he is, it's more his race pace and the craft that goes with that as well, with drivers similarly paced around him. We've seen in EU4 where he's been caught up in the pack, it's not been his strongest point, but Jordi, more importantly, out of the DRS as we head further down. And there's now I feel Lewis here is really pulling away.
But Dan has made it past Steve at turn 1. Yes, he has.
He has been
into the banking. Steve stays really low. Almost looked like Steve was going for it on Dan then. Never looked close enough, but he just took the low line.
Very unique. Yeah, you see this thing. I was just don't want to get it in the way. There you go. Very unique about this circuit. There is different corners where you can take different lines as Lewis does the old.
There goes Lewis.
360.
The old Booker T spinneroonie there.
Titchy's also around.
Titchy's joined him.
He was very close with Dan as well, so be interested to see if there was any contact, but we shall probably find out later.
Yes, with some very not safe for the stream words.
Yes.
Probably mixed in there as Titchy's brother gets past him after that spinneroonie.
And will he come into the pits then? The thing you do notice about this game, if you do have a spin, those tyres will take time to cool down.
He stayed out, and so has Lewis, so David's going to go up the inside of Titch. He's not going to have the momentum to get through.
No.
The Alfa Romeo stays in front of the Red Bull. How many times are you going to see that this season?
Sorry about that, everyone. Quickly had to mute my mic because you would have been deafened by a loud sneeze. So you're welcome. As a gap to the lead has come down.
I wonder if Jordi's made a mistake, or maybe those tyres are just disappearing off a cliff. Who knows? In my brief talk with Wizard, he did mention the softs not being too good as a race tyre.
No, but it's done the initial job, I feel.
This is a car round. Is that Lewis again?
It is Lewis again, yeah. And that would be on the I wouldn't be surprised if that's on the inside of that corner, as JRN has been, well, double overtake. Oh, and the contact between the Alpine and the Aston Martin. That was someone getting a bit of oversteer.
There's an end plate on the floor.
Yeah,
I suspect it's JRN's.
They were going 3 wide into that corner. And Cam's going to try and go around the outside of Steve.
I think maybe in the yellow flag, Steve got an illegal overtake. That may have been a really smart move by Steve. Because I think maybe he got an illegal overtake, let Cam back past, and then stayed up the inside into the bank corner. Purely speculation, but
it's purely speculation. You don't know.
It looked a bit too easy for Cam to get by.
It looks like the two Alfa Romeos not the Alfa Romeos, the Aston Martins and McLaren, and then the Alpine were all close to each other there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a cluster in there.
And Donny's still not quite close enough to...
and there goes the first actual pit stop.
Yes.
Triggered in this race. Cam and JRN both in, but X427 makes the first actual pit stop. The Spud, I believe, went round again there.
Yeah, he's made a small mistake, lost a little bit of time to Cornish Mantis. Thibaut's now just done it out of sympathy, I think. So the inside of this corner here, so we're going to see Jordi go through. You don't really want to put too much of a wheel there. Spud has retired though.
Yeah, that should be a safety car.
And that is a safety car. Which is going to be annoying for those that just stopped there because they've lost a bit of track position. Perfect though for the soft runners if they want a cheap stop. I think Jordi will take this.
And that is going to be an unhappy Spud. Maybe. Who knows? Spud's just a bit of a enigma.
And Donny has followed him in. And Robin's gone differently. Robin stayed out, so...
Yeah, I think he thinks he was too close to Jordi, maybe. And he's elected to stay out.
The means we know...
of people should pit.
Yeah, the means we know that they can go longer. They can do close to 15 laps.
It looks like Jordi's gonna be behind Steve. Interesting. I thought he was going to come out ahead of Steve.
Yeah, I thought there was enough of a gap though. He's not lost too much time.
And he's gone to the mediums, interestingly. So, and JRN's picked up 5 seconds for speed.
In pit lane. So those that had earlier instance and pitted have got a safety car. They're now back in the race, which is why you fight it out until the very end.
It does sound like a punchline to a joke, Rosa, I must admit. Tyre falling off a cliff. But it's a very technical term. Even Mr. Kravitz uses it.
So let's have a look, just so people know who hasn't stopped. So Robin, not Rapid, Dan, Steve, Two-Spell and Lewis, they've all not stopped. Everyone else has made a stop already, so they could go to the end on their choice of tyre.
JRN will need to stop again. They are both
Thank you.
Medium.
Yes, they've gone. Are you saying they've gone medium?
Yeah, very possibly. If they can hang it out long enough, they might go medium soft, but that is very dangerous and very unlikely to pay off.
Yes. Well, I would suggest we're
too early.
I reckon we're going to have another safety car anyway that's going to influence the strategy, just like we saw at the weekend. And David Clarkson has dropped it under the safety car. Again, one of my...
committed one of Matt's safety car mishaps.
Yes. If you're unable to keep the car under control at a reduced pace, then I have questions. As well as driving off the track and picking up a penalty and then expecting it to be removed.
I can't wait for the day you do that.
What?
Drive off the track and get a penalty.
If I do that, then everyone can ridicule me, but I'm not going to do that.
Immediately into the pits and retire.
Yes.
Don't want to race anymore. Done. What is it you and Danny talk about under safety cars?
Well, we usually have a topic of discussion, and I can't remember what last night's topic was, but I know last week we were talking about...
You talked favourite F3 drivers last week.
Yes,
I remember that.
We talked about Bobby Schwartzy, I think last week as well. Pastry.
Well, since this is going to go on for seemingly another lap, should we talk about the Champions League?
We shall talk about the Champions League. I have seen goals go in, but could you provide us some
full-time
information.
results should be coming in soon. Neil's going to be very unhappy when he hears this, but Celtic have conceded 3 in the second half and are now losing 3-0 to Real Madrid. Benfica are 2-0 up against Maccabi Haifa. Juventus have pulled one back against PSG through Weston McKennie. It's now 2-1 in that game. Shakhtar Donetsk have scored 4 in Leipzig. It's 4-1 there.
Nice to see Timo Werner's doing bits.
Yeah, he's done absolutely nothing, as per. Salzburg and AC Milan is the same score it was at half-time, that's 1-1. And the final game, Sevilla versus Manchester City, well, what can I say except Haaland.
I saw it was 2-0 and Foden had scored
it's
the
now
second.
3-0. Haaland has scored 2 and Foden got the other.
Lovely.
Early games in the Champions League, of course, Dortmund beat Copenhagen 3-0.
Yep.
And we can all laugh at Danny for this one. Because Dinamo Zagreb beat Chelsea 1-0.
Yeah. No one cares about the Championship. Behave. Yeah, that's because Coventry are mediocre. Ethan, say
maybe
this.
if Coventry played at home,
yeah,
they might have got some points.
Anyway, safety car is in and we're about to go green flag racing once again. Thank goodness. We will continue our pudding discussion later on if there is another safety car. Robin has got a good restart initially, but it's the slipstream of Not Rapid that's closing in. This is very Verstappen Hamilton-esque, this, as Not Rapid goes down the inside. Robin's going to have to go all the way round the outside and then just get squeezed on the exit. So a move already for the lead, not what the Williams driver wanted.
He's gonna... Oh, somebody's
Mantis.
round. It's Mantis.
Whose luck so far this season hasn't changed one bit. It has been rotten, to say the least.
Will Mantis finish a race?
Sorry for the spam,
That is the challenge.
But I saw Lewis and Dan go side by side, which looked very exciting at times. We've just missed out on it. So mediums, the medium guy's struggling, which
well, they are
shouldn't be expected. Yeah, I was going to say because they're just the same age, really.
Not you know what I mean. Not slightly older.
Oh, who was that? Donny lost a bit of traction there. He still holds it around the outside of Jordi though, but I think Jordi is going to
Jordi got into the side of Steve a little bit, into the back of him, and then Steve sort of forced him out wide. No fault of Steve's, of course. I think he just got a bit loose in the corner.
They did. I thought they would.
They did, yeah, they did. Go on, say it. They did.
Not Rapid and Robin, yeah. They were going through turn 3 side by side. I thought, this is going to look a bit tight. It was. They did make contact. Dan's in the lead. And Robin's going to be livid.
That will be one unhappy Dutchman in P17.
I'm waiting for Fruit now to throw a comment in the Twitch chat. He'll be there, masterminding the success. Always does.
Not quite invading the commentary box as we've got a Williams round.
Yeah, it's Robin
again.
Yeah, it's painful to see. Something not painful to see is
his teammate going round the outside of
Steve.
And
let's go.
On the back of Donny.
That's Clarkson with 3 seconds.
Oh, let's go. That's class. As Dan has opened up a 2.5 second gap. Oh, we've got...
Speaking of David Clarkson,
yes.
Doesn't like that corner. That's the second time went off there in qualifying.
As Donny's gonna to defend from Geordie.
I would say it's a very... Yeah, there's going to be a very highly motivated Williams, I think, there. I'll have to see what happened.
The pole sitter sitting in front of Geordie.
Oh, Robin.
Is that David Round again?
No, it's Robin this time.
Is it Robin? Oh, what a shame.
Wizard has got past Cam. Or has he? Well, here we go then. Wizard round the outside of Cam. Has got it done.
Oh, and that's Tebow.
Here's
with
Tebow.
Another spinneroonie.
Joe as well. And Joe looks to go round the outside. Red Mask gives him the shoulder. Oh, and the squeeze into the wall. Oh, no.
And the flags fly, and that'll be a full safety car. Geordie will be very frustrated.
I'm not as frustrated as what Joe would be. That was... Checo pushed the boundary on Sunday. Red Mask has completely obliterated it.
Now, let me tell you about Geordie, because he was going for it on dummy.
Yes, not the same first time. These guys will won't take the second.
There it is, from JRN.
Yeah,
no,
well,
I
don't blame
won't repeat it.
No, well, I can't repeat that either, but
Anyway.
From the angle we had, it looked not great.
Full safety car means we can go back onto the topic of football.
Yeah, it is, and Ruben Dias scored a fourth goal.
Ruben Dias next. Right. I'm sorry, I'm going.
All Wizard has left the session. That is not very good. Right?
No, it is not.
Off you go, sir.
I'm on it. Oh yeah, here we go. Off you go, sir.
I can't do it because otherwise the people can't see the thing.
I can't invite him. It won't let me.
You have to wait then. So, Donny stays out. Yordi obviously stays out because those mediums are brand new. Really, because there's not been much green flag racing between the two safety cars.
Speaking of safety car will pick them up. It is the red safety car, so that means it's a Merc. The uglier of the two safety cars. And JRN's out. Never mind.
Well, yeah, he's out. So.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, two EU4 drivers coming together.
Fantastic.
Who would have thought, eh?
There's some arguing going on in the chat.
Would not surprise me.
Between Ethan and Gus. Leave it out, you two.
Arsenal will not win the Premier League. They'll get top 4 if they're lucky.
But in fairness, Ethan, Coventry should be relegated just for the state of the pitch.
Yep.
Because that is shocking. I know they've played rugby on it, but it's been weeks now. Sort it out.
Didn't say you were. Just said it's EU4 drivers coming together. Doesn't surprise me. Yes, I can get behind that.
Now. I'm reliably informed that Christian Horner is a very nice guy away from the track.
No, he's not.
I've got sauces. Mainly ketchup.
Mustard?
No, I'm not a fan of mustard.
Mayonnaise?
On a hot dog, yeah.
Thai sweet shit, that's it. Best condiment. Blades?
Best condiment. That is a...
Well, I know what is going to be said.
I'm from the north.
No, it's
gravy.
Get the ranch dressing. Ranch.
Fetch the ranch.
There it is.
There it is, Death Storm. Ranch.
I like a bit of toast with chilli.
I don't mind the barbu sauce. As Yuri gets up alongside Donny, no fault of his, I think. Mayo is very versatile. I will give you that, Andy.
Not from Devon.
It's from Cornwall. Let's, best condiment is interesting. Oh, as the safety car's going to come in, so I'm going to wrap this up. If you don't have Mackie sweet and sour sauce with your chicken nuggets, something wrong with you. As we get ready to go racing again.
Yeah, it was a late call, so Donny's going to back these guys up as far as he can, and we'll probably leave it as late as possible.
Yes, Ethan.
And he does, but Yordi has followed him quite well here.
And Yordi's going to look to the inside, nothing doing.
Not quite yet. There's many things going on that I can't see because all your comments are coming through. Tichy is losing places. We're about 2 or 3 wide.
What a save that was. Yordi has gone sideways through turn 3.
Someone Mantis again. No, not Mantis again. Tebow's off. Lewis is in the pits.
Everything's going off. We only just got back racing again. Here comes Yordi.
Yeah, but Tichy's gone down the
gone sideways.
Switch back by Red Mask. They will touch again. Tichy's going to go to the outside. He's still there, and the Haas is through for 11th place. Quickly back up to the Peoples. David Clarkson is round.
Carnage at the front, to say the least. Carnage.
Do you want to try and invite Wizard back and see if you can do it this time?
I will have a look. I'm very sorry, Wizard.
No, but that's not your fault. Cam is under pressure from down here. No surprise, performance of tyre. So moves being done here, Blades, without DRS, which is good to see.
I don't want to ruin the fun.
But
he's there, lurking.
He is there.
Waiting for a 3-second penalty.
Always is. He's going to have to stop though.
He's going to have to stop, but this was his plan.
This is always Wizard's plan.
Something that genuinely doesn't happen with Ferrari. Wizard is on plan A.
I just find it funny that Charles Leclerc now has to be a strategist as well, which is shocking. Tichy fighting off the Wizard, not his brother, but the other one. As we have a nice train if so P3 is going to get, well, it's going to get saucy. Let's put it that way. As they're all stuck behind the Ferrari Wizard. And we have a DRS train all the way down to 10th positioners.
And this is what we prefer, because we prefer this to gapped racing. Don't you, Matt? I prefer this.
Gap racing is boring, but it's cleaner. As I thought, not Rapid there was going to go for a move there. That would have been adventurous.
Steve's behind him. He might. Ran out of straight. As the leaders have just disappeared.
The leaders have disappeared, but I am appreciating everyone's comments. I know I'm not looking at them, but I'm appreciating your source comments and debate. I think it's fantastic.
If we get another one, we will return to the source debate.
We will return to the source debate, but there's a debate for 3rd place at the moment, and
there is a debate.
I'm getting good at this.
It's a very good segue, yeah.
It is. Wizard will be under pressure this time around. There is DRS is enabled. By Lars.
Absolutely. And here comes that McLaren, but he's not going to get anywhere close.
No, Dan's going to look to the inside of Cam. It's going to squeeze as we go into the corner, but good driving from both of them.
It may soon be time for Jordi. I'm not going to call it too early. If you could hear an engineer, you'll probably hear box in about 2 laps time for another set of those medium tyres.
Everyone is saying goodbye to Lars. Goodbye, Lars.
Goodbye, Lars.
Love you, Lars.
Love you.
But yeah, these guys are putting a gap out front by about 4 tenths of that at the moment. As Tebow is off and round somewhere, but he's got it pointing in the same direction now. So the medium guys' blades I find interesting have not made the inroads on the hard tyre guys I thought they would.
Oh, that's David now.
Robin's in the pits and is about to get lapped, I'm afraid.
It's not the race he would have hoped for. About to be lapped by his teammate. And his brother will be certainly expecting better of him.
Dan's lost a place to not wrapping. I think he may have got on the curb on the inside there. We have a yellow flag, but it's just Robin going slowly.
Robin getting out of the way, I think, through the twisty section.
Unfortunately, not been Robin's race so far.
No, but his teammates
and not really been his season.
First season back after a break, and he's gone round.
Yes. It's just the traction zones is very hard in this game, and people do struggle.
And maybe now's the time for Jordi.
Maybe. Titch has lost a place to Mantis.
Looking like Donny's going to stay ahead for another lap, or at least till the next DRS zone.
Yeah, well, what Jordi's doing is making Donny use his ERS. Donny is basically down to 30%, which is half of what Jordi's got. Not Rapid stayed ahead of Cam Tizzle and is pushing the Ferrari this time.
It's all a big scrap for P3.
It is.
And Neil is dropping down.
Neil is continuing to drop back. No surprise, those tyres are 21 laps old. But he's not being pushed really. He's always had about a 6 to 7 tenth gap between the person him and the person behind.
I'm just hoping he doesn't try and pull out any bookie strategies.
Well,
i.e. Monaco, which is now banned in his own rule book.
Yeah.
So
he has had a rule change. The Ferrari that seems to be more under pressure at the moment is Dan. And he's under pressure from the medium runners of Not Rapid, who has got a very good toe this time round. And we will see the Ferrari to our left hand side as we head into turn 1. Oh, and he just squeezes the Ferrari. He is still there.
Sorry to butt in there, but
I
didn't expect Danny back round the outside. Oh, Not Rapid's up the inside.
That is adventurous. But now Cam
right.
Tizzle is there as well.
Oh, Cam Tizzle is inside, Not Rapid.
Terrible camera angle. We got blocked by the hill.
If you want a good view, Cam Tizzle's the man to be with.
And we will go on board with Cam Tizzle in a second. In fact, I think Dan's the person to look for here. He's sitting in.
There goes Cam,
there it
and
is.
into him, and Red Max is through.
Cam for the second time being collected. Not Rapid. Rapid has spun it. He's dropped it. Pressure.
And here comes Dan and Steve. They're side by side. Dan tries to hold it around the outside. Steve's gone round. It's all happening.
He was.
Mantis is back.
Mantis is back. Yeah. That you could just tell that something was going to give, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll take over, don't worry about it. Something was going to give this time round, as Tichy is off. Tichy's got no front wing.
And someone else is off. It's Tebow. Tebow's off as well. The Alphas.
Synchronised
spinning.
Yes. Cam Tizzle. Well, carries on. Tebow's spending more time off the track and pointing in the wrong direction than actually on the track. It still does mean, though, the two leaders are somehow still out front. Tebow is also around again. Tebow, the tyres are hot, so, you know, Not Rapid has left the session.
That's a shame. He's still in for points.
Yeah, I was going to say in for points there, so if he has just turned the PlayStation.
Yordi not making very much inroads. There's someone round, I think it was Tebow, as Yordi and Donny flew past him.
And we've got a safety car.
Oh.
Because of where Tebow is.
Must be for where Tebow is, yeah. So.
Or was it Tichy? No, it's Tichy. Tichy on the exit of turn 3. He's come out the pits and he's got into the wall. So safety car once again.
Yeah, how's it going to be? Donny, is that a slow stop? No? Looked like a slow stop.
I think it is a slow stop.
But he's still out in front of Yordi. And Danny, no surprise, continues because he likes being in control.
Yep.
So the red car will pick up the red car. Now
this is very similar, Blades, to the position we found ourselves in last night in the EU3. Safety car was roughly about this time, and the softs and the medium, the game between the softs and the mediums made it very, very interesting. I personally think front two needed to pit. This is like another Hamilton vibe from Sunday.
Yes, but if you look where two-spell is, he's going to have a blocker eventually when Danny gets back to him.
He would. We can always start.
And two-spell pitted, so Danny wouldn't have wanted to double stack as well.
Let's start playing Minecraft services, AJ. Yeah.
Well, back to the discussion on sources.
Yes, did we get down to the bottom there?
Well, I still think that Mackie Sweet and Sour is the GOAT.
Yeah, well, you got some funny looks from that. I don't think Rosa was completely convinced by it.
Well, Rosa is irrelevant. Wait till he scores a point and then he can talk to me.
That's a bit. Shall we see if he's actually scored on? EU2. Has Rossa scored any points?
Minecraft servers are very expensive, by the way. Best Pringles flavour.
Well, we had that.
Have we had that?
Yes. Second race.
Sorry, August. Apparently, we've had that.
But go on, we can continue the discussion and see if people... We have different viewers on a Monday and a Tuesday, so...
Salt and Vinegar says Spud. I'm inclined to agree, although sour cream and onion is also... acceptable.
Texas barbecue.
Texas barbecue. I will accept that.
Thank you.
As a fat man myself, I feel I'm allowed to talk about this subject. August says best football team.
Pizza flavour. I forgot in America you guys have got some
no, I had the pizza
variants.
flavour, and the pizza flavour was okay. It was a tad spicy.
How can pizza be spicy?
But it was okay. It was okay.
So hopefully Not Rapid can join. Not Rapid can then pit, I think, now. And I would from that position and go onto the soft tyre. That's what
Andy says any sort of barbecue.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you have the cheeseburger flavour in America? I've seen that floating about. I think that was in Lidl or Aldi. One of the two. That sounds like an American.
What's the ones I had the other day? It was like a hot sour cream and onion thing. Like the Mac. What they got? They got the Max flavours or something. I can't remember.
Do you mean Walker's Max?
No, they were still Pringles.
They were still Pringles?
Yeah.
I saw it in one of the shops and I didn't pick it up because I picked the pizza ones up. And the pizza ones were quite nice.
We're going to do some research whilst we're waiting for people to pick.
But they have also brought out, and Neil will love to hear this because he's a big fan of prawn cocktail crisps, spicy prawn cocktail. And I saw some in a shop today, and I was tempted to ask Neil if he wanted some.
Yes, they're the sizzling spice, the sizzling
sour cream.
Yeah.
Haven't tried them. Probably need to get round to it. Yes, Rosa, August's right. You have to dive to get 3 points.
Yes.
If we're going to talk promotion.
We are. Thanks, Spud. You done the chili sour cream version ones. Yeah, we got it. A safety car is in this lap. Robin is, in respect to Robin and Thibaut, they are still going, considering they are a lap down. Yeah.
And Titchy. No, never mind. I'm a liar. I saw one lap next to Titch and thought, oh well.
So Danny is going to lead us on this formation lap. So not formation lap, safety car restart. So much has gone on this evening, mate. I'm now losing the will to live.
Yeah, it's been a long one. It's been a long one, I must admit.
It's been chaotic, but entertaining for us. As the Ferrari's still waiting, and I don't know when he's going to decide to go because he's going to be in trouble. He's gone now, but he's going to be massively under pressure from the guys behind, as we see.
I think he's done well there.
Yeah, there's 3 wide further back, and it's the Haas and the McLaren and the Alpine. As we go 3 wide again, Donny up the inside, contact between the Haas and the McLaren once again. Oh, big accident. It's the Mercedes, Steve in the mix again, and hopefully he's not picked up Cam for the second time. Everyone's still ghosting within each other, which is a little bit weird.
Come on, man. We all know you can't call it an accident. Accident implies there's no one to blame.
No, it's hard. It was hard to tell, if I'm being honest. So much on the screen happened all at once.
It looks like Donny's going to try. Maybe he's got the ERS switched on, but so has Mantis. And Donny's going to send it up the inside, and he's going to absolutely demolish the curb at that corner. And I think that'll be a warning for Donny. I'm not overly
sure. Yes, I think so as well. Cam is down to 12th, so that it's not been a good restart for him. And there's Muchus weaving on the front straight. Yordi trying to tuck into the slipstream. Donny goes to the inside. Yordi goes to the outside. Donny sends it down the inside. Contact Mantis is round. Yordi's picked him up as well.
And it's gone from bad to worse for the Williams boys.
Donny's now on the back of the Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari, yeah.
I expect if Neil catches up to Danny, Danny will not fight it.
Well, you say that. Double Ferrari podium is on the cards here. Dan's got a time penalty of 3 seconds, so that should be very, very interesting. We have a DRS train pretty much all the way down to 14th, 13th place, which is fantastic.
Well, we will once the DRS gets switched on.
Which will be this time round.
Well, here we go.
I say, Dan, AJ, I think you've spoken slightly too soon here, because I think this time round he is going to be toast.
That's toast.
It is. Donny goes to the inside. Dan's not really going to have much work left to really fight it. Not rapid down the inside. Steve. And they don't just about, because they wheel bang once again. Steve looks to go down the inside, which is very dangerous. And there's a spinning Alpine, it's Lewis. And that could cause another safety car.
I'm waiting for the yellow car.
So are we. Everyone's waiting. We're on tender
there goes Dan.
Dan is gone.
Two spell up into a podium position. This is so off-brand.
So now we don't have to worry about the penalty at all now for the podium places. The two Ferraris are now there on merit. And it's not Rapid and Redmast. EU4, dare I say it, Blades, fighting back here with a vengeance. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in the top 7.
It's like Revenge of the Sith.
It is Revenge of the Sith. I think I've counted Not Rapid there, and I apologise to Not Rapid, but Not Rapid was in the EU4 last
You have
season.
counted Not Rapid, yeah.
So Not Rapid, well, the cork in the bottle, really.
Oh, Cygate up the inside of Neil. Didn't even see him there.
That's going to get feisty all the way down. Oh, and Steve's, the Mercedes is gone. The Mercedes is gone. Disastrous. All the way down to 12th.
I think Neil's going to need some help.
And
from his teammate.
There's an Alfa Romeo off and not moving. It's Tebow, but
maybe was in the gravel.
Same for Steve as well.
I do think Neil's going to need some help if he's going to get this podium.
Yeah, well, hopefully the guys behind will be able to help him out there. Dave Clausen and Jordi going side by side. It's not
got 5 laps.
That was a fight for position, which is very, very interesting.
And I think
that's Titch.
Unfortunately, I think Danny's going to have to be the one to sacrifice. We could see some Ferrari strategy coming into play as Cygate comes back at Neil.
I don't think they can afford to do that. But Cygate has got a mirror field of Aston Martin at the moment.
You never know, it is Ferrari.
It is Ferrari. Oh! Not Rapid tried to go down the inside Cygate. And that's what that corner... You know, that's what can cause problems. Different lines through that corner.
Is Neil. DRS range. So, it could be next lap down the pit straight.
It could be.
See Neil get his help.
We'll see it this time. They're going to have a lot of work cut out. They've got 4 laps to do this. But again, though, Cygate under pressure from Not Rapid. Not Rapid's going to go to the inside. Yeah, and Not Rapid's got the move done.
Oh, it does mean very smart from the Ferrari boys.
Well, the thing is also, Not Rapid's now out of DRS, so he's going to be under pressure from the McLaren behind. So Ferrari have got it kind of sorted out at the moment.
Donny has just run away.
And Red Mask and Cygate have come together. So Red Mask has got, I think there was contact between them both. Red Mask has gone past. Cam is now looking at the back of the Haas. Well, he's in a Haas sandwich here, which I don't believe it.
I don't believe this.
We have a safety car.
And Cygate's been disqualified
For parking in a dangerous location. And I know what's happened there. Where is Tichy?
He's gone past him. Mantis, it's been removed. The car's gone.
Cygate,
he's got beached.
He's beached. He's beached on the curb. And because...
and Tichy spun under the safety car.
It's quite funny.
Matty's mishap.
It is a...
and Mantis has got past him.
So...
And Mantis has given him the place back, which
they're going to have... It's going to be one lap under the safety car.
Yeah.
And if I'm Donny, I am... well, I would say fuming, but he has the advantage here.
He does.
And Danny's stayed out. Good, because otherwise that would be very Ferrari to come in and pit onto the softs.
And I think...
Red Mask has done a Ferrari.
Red Mask has done a Ferrari. That is very stupid of him, because he's going to lose everything.
He is going to lose... He's taken because he's got front wing damage, but I think he'll be able to just survive up until that point. So he's going to be in 10th, though. He's still going to be in the points, but yeah, it's not. Yeah,
it's not what he wanted.
No, not really.
Onto an old set of softs with Tichy lurking behind, ever dangerous. They are going to have, it seems like, 2 laps of racing, so the DRS will not be turned on, which means we could see some desperation moves from those at the front. Particularly, I'm thinking Not Rapid and Cam Tizzle and Dan. No, well, maybe not Dan. The safety car is in, so it's going to be 2 laps. The track is green.
So we will go to the front once again.
Going to be Donny, but Donny's restart's not really going to matter.
No, this should be.
It's going to be the restart of the 2 behind.
Yeah, this is the more exciting. Well, the gentleman in second place, I feel here.
Yes, he's done a maverick job on those tyres. And he wouldn't mind, I feel, if Donny would go to the line with this restart.
And he has gone, and Danny's managed to follow with him, which is good for the Ferrari.
Here comes Not Rapid. He's going up the inside of Neil,
which is always a risk. Cam's going to go around the outside of Dan, and there's contact. Dan's still kept out of the wall. Yordi's up to 6th. Who would have thought this?
Not Rapid's round the outside.
Cam's lost it. Cam's in the wall. There.
Oh, Not Rapid's been shoved off 3 times.
Here we go. It's getting feisty.
He's going up the inside again.
He's got it done.
Late breakers. Yeah, he's got it done. And I hate to say,
nothing coming back from that. There'll be no DRS to help these guys out. It's just going to be down to tyres and skill.
And I'm hoping Danny doesn't get a puncture here, because this drive on those tyres for this long is impressive.
Oh, Cam's gone straight across.
And there goes Cornish Mantis. So the did Cornish Mantis finish a race? Answer, no.
Oh yeah. Not Rapid is hunting him down.
Yeah, Rapid. Danny's moved to the inside. Not really where you want to be on this banked corner. But he's hung it in there.
And that is just the superior grip.
And Rapid moving across him. Oh dear.
Oh, Ferrari! Yordi's going to go down the inside. He's going to get 1 Ferrari. He could get both. It's going to be 3 wide.
No, Danny's going to have to give up the place and maybe defend a bit from Yordi. And he is defending, and he's defending well for his teammate.
Not Rapid, by the way, Blades. Hunting down Donny. I don't think this can be done yet.
This might not be over.
It might not be over.
Martin is coming for the McLaren man.
And it may not be over, but I think it's going to be just 1 lap too late.
Just a bit too little too late from Not Rapid, unfortunately. There's yellow flags
and red mask. That was a send and a half there.
Yeah, it did look like it from the camera angle. I
think gets what it deserves.
As Donny's going to win in Zandvoort. The DRS is enabled for some reason. And a chaotic end, you would say. Chaotic.
Chaotic end indeed. I mean...
And I think Donny has to be in the conversation to be shifted up.
Yes, he is. I think he's proven that this evening. Well done to the Wizards Ghost that finished 7th. Congratulations on that front. Tichy's going to finish in the pits. Thanks Titch. So, some say masterclass, some say a wonderful drive, and it was. But I think what's helped Donny this evening is he's kept it out of trouble. Good qualifying, followed by a race win. He's our winner this evening. Not Rapid with a very stellar last few laps to get himself onto the podium. Ferrari tried all their best played, so they tried to get a double podium, but it wasn't to be. Nearly had a double dump at the end. That would have been spoken about.
2 weeks in a row. He's been in a position and he's not pulled it off. You do feel bad for Mr. X427 at that point.
He did. But he was delaying the inevitable, to be honest, on those hard tyres. It was a valiant effort indeed. So, Donny was in first position, Not Rapid second, Two Spell is third, Dan fourth, Yordi fifth, and Cam sixth. Well done to Cam after a very interesting race. Wizards Ghost finished seventh, so over the validity of that result, it will be questioned. We will sort that out. Dan eighth, Red Mask ninth. Started from 17th, so that was a good performance from the EU4 driver. David Clarkson got a point in EU3. Probably not what he was expecting, but a good result nonetheless. Tichy 11th, Robin 12th, was very unlucky. Should have been towards the podium. Mantis also had a very unfortunate race. Steve showed some good pace, but got caught up in incidents. Was our first dump. Lewis, Tebow, Jaren, Spud, Acid Masters, and Cygate. Could you invite the people, Blades, into the party?
I didn't think we were doing it because Danny never normally does, but I will.
Okay, I'll do it though. It'll be fun.
It's Donny. And
it's
Not Rapid.
Rapid and Mr. Wizard.
Oh, Mr. Wizard. Would help if I could get Not Rapid's name right. Is there an underscore at the end or not?
No, it's Not and then Rapid with an X.
Okay. And Mr. Wizard. So we've got Donny Brow, Not Rapid, and Two Spell Wizard. Okay. And hopefully that works.
There's one. There's two.
There's two.
The third one would be nice.
Would probably be the quickest start to interviews ever.
I'll check they all. Looks like everyone's here.
Is it?
Yeah, everyone is here. Everyone is here. Lovely. Right, hello. Brilliant. Well done, gentlemen. Mr. Wizard, hello. Good evening.
Hello.
How are we?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent stuff. We saw the coordination tactics of the Ferraris in trying to mastermind a double podium. You were the cork in the bottle to start off with, and then you ended up being the one let go at the end. How was it? Considering you nearly killed each other at the end as well.
So I mean, we think we would have got the 2-3 if there wasn't another safety car, because the softs were just starting to overheat, and I was all right behind us, and we were going to be 2-3, but then we had a bit of trouble with warm-up at the end. But I mean, neither of us wanted to pit at all. I think we only both did one stop because Dan's got a bit of PTSD with Inaki Barreda's strategies.
That is fair enough. We were thinking he was going to. It would be a very Ferrari thing if he came off the hards at the end and stopped. So
last lap, I nearly ran into the back of him because Danny in the Alpha and the Haas did a bit of a dive bomb into 4, so I had to block that off, and ended up nearly trying to overtake Dan. But it was all right in the end.
Yeah, well, it was well managed on the whole. A podium is a good result as well, considering qualifying and where you were.
Yeah, I think we were 18th and 15th and finished 3rd and 4th, so yeah, we're very happy with that.
So good points going to Maranello. Well done. hopefully, may see you next week. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Who knows? Congratulations.
Thank you. And well done.
Moving, not rapid, P2. And all I would say is very well done, considering you got disconnected, you were P11, and it wasn't looking particularly very good at one point. But, you know, you made it in one piece. P2, congratulations. Hopefully, a start of a consistent run for you. Hopefully. Go and rest up with that nasty cough that you got. Alright. Donnie, I presume your audio set to be shared, because we've spoken to you before.
Yeah.
Point to prove this evening. It was much discussed. I think point has been proven with pole position and a race win. Was it as easy as it looks?
Mate, literally, when I found out I was outpacing Geordie at the start, so in qualifying, like, I was zoned out completely because I'm kind of like, I have like a cold in it. So I was like proper zoned out. So I didn't know if I was going to set a good lap, bad lap. But luckily I came through with the lap that was only good enough, you know, to put me in pole by like 7,000. So when I had a start, I started on the mediums because I'm like, I wouldn't start in the hards. I've started in the hards before on this track and it doesn't end well for me because the hards tend to be a better tie during to the end of the race that I find. Once you start on the hards, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like there's no grip, and the soft runners and then the medium runners will just trounce you. So I decided to be like in between, so I started on the mediums. I got a decent start, and then we had Geordie behind me, blitzed me on the start on those softs. Literally, I had, you know, no chance against him on the start. But, you know, after a few laps, I was just saving my ERS, you know, just saving everything because I knew he was going to pull away. I was just waiting for those softs to die because I know softs die quite quickly in Zandvoort. So once I noticed that he was going quite slowly, I started to pick up the pace slightly, and then I was right behind him for quite a bit until a safety car came, and then I pit for hards, and then afterwards it was just a matter of just, you know, just controlling my pace because I didn't want to overdrive the car like I usually do. I was just driving at a benchmark, so I wasn't completely pushing. I wasn't really pushing. I was just trying to keep the car in a direction and just keep him behind me because once I got past him, he was quite quick in the straight line, but I'd always beat him through the corners. So it was just a matter of keeping ahead and keeping my, you know, focus because I tend to have like a tendency of zoning out during a race. So it was just about keeping focus, and, you know, he gave me a really good challenge because there was a point of time where, you know, I decided, you know, just to just keep, you know, preserving my ERS because I wanted to go for a fastest lap attempt. Because literally every lap I was setting, it was decent enough for a fastest lap, but it wasn't the fastest lap attempt that I would have wanted because I never got the fastest lap at the end because, well, my softs were overheating at the end, which was unfortunate. But yeah, it was just a matter of, you know, keeping Geordie behind because, believe it or not, that guy has pace. You know, even though he was on mediums and I was on hards, you know, he was giving me a good fight because I thought his mediums were going to die like rapidly, but he managed to keep up with me. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened between the cars. I heard it was 3 wide, and then next thing I know, 2 cars are, in the barriers. So I was like, oh my gosh. Because in my opinion, I feel like Geordie does deserve to be in the podium. He did everything that he could. He was really giving me a challenge. And this points prove, after numerous pole positions and no wins to back it up, it did sting a bit. So to get a win in a higher tier makes me quite happy, but at the same time, it's just one step at a time, really.
Well, I mean, considering some of the luck you've had, I think it was finally deserved, especially with safety cars. So, congratulations, mate. Probably, hopefully, see you. Well, maybe in EU3 a bit more. We'll see what happens. But well done. Well done to all the podium position guys. Congratulations. Blades, that's it, mate. We're done. We're finished. We're done. Finito. We are. Thank you for being with me this evening, considering we both weren't actually supposed to be here. Shane may not be back next week, but Marina is, so don't worry. All will be good. So you may have another guest appearance from an individual next week. I heard it could be Thomas. Who knows? Which should be exciting. These guys will be racing around Spa next week at Tuesday, 9 p.m. UK. That's 10 p.m. in European time. The next on-track action is AM2 this evening. That is 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. in the UK. If you want to go and support those guys, they support us. So if you are up at that time, please go and support them as well. And then EU2 on Wednesday with AM1, and then EU1 on Thursday. Do check our social media posts. They'll be on Instagram and Twitter. That's where some of the results will go up. If not, go on our website, which is f1.contestspeed.com. That's where all the results and standings get posted, so you can see what's going on in the championship. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.